Hello and welcome to lesson number 3. Our topic today, the topic is calculating radius and diameter. And what's going to be happening here, the difference from other day, is this time you're going to be given the circumference. So what's your learning goal? What's your goal for today? I want you to use the formula I'm going to give you. So I'm going to give you 2 formula to work with, and you got to be able to use these formula to determine the value of either radius or diameter, so whatever's asked for. So yesterday, or previous lesson, we talked about the 2 formulas for circumference. Circumference equals pi times diameter, or circumference equals 2 pi r. Now, we don't have the algebra skills, and that's not a big deal. You can easily look these formulas up on the internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the process. You do not have to repeat this. If I want to get d by itself on this side here, so I'm talking about looking at this equation right here at the moment. I want to get pi or diameter by itself. It's multiplying each other. Opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm just going to show you the steps. Whatever you do to one side of an equation, you do to the other. These would cancel each other out. You do not have to do this for me. Okay, I'm just showing you where the formula came from. So here is one of our 2 formulas. Diameter equals our circumference divided by pi. And that's it. So there's our one formula, or first formula. The other formula, so looking at the other question now, circumference equals 2 pi r. I want to get the radius by itself. So this time I have to get rid of a 2 and a pi. Since they're all multiplying, opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I end up dividing both sides by 2 pi. The 2 pi and the 2 pi would cancel. And all I would be left with is an r. And again, that's called algebra. You're not responsible for rearranging it. You are responsible for being able to pick the right formula. So all we have now, we have 2 formula. Those are going to go on into our foldable, so you'll be able to look them up. And that's how you calculate diameter and radius when you're given a circumference. So those 2 red boxes right there. Okay? I'm going to show you or demonstrate a couple of examples, and then you're going to get a chance to try these on your own. So for this first example, find the centers of each circle here for us. Find the radius. Find the radius. Now radius, again, center of circle to edge, center of circle to edge. So we want to find the radius when we're given a circumference. So I'm going to emphasize this. So I'm going to tell you that the distance around this circle for the first question is equal to, let's go with 45 centimeters. Now, in the homework, what you're going to see is that for question 1, it's going to say C equals 45 centimeters. But what I'm doing here, I'm just showing you a visual representation of what that means. Okay, so the question is going to say circumference equals 45, and you need to know what capital C means. All right, so what am I looking for? Well, the question said we're looking for radius. So you go back to your formulas, and you find the one that has radius in it. So here's our formula with radius. So we're going to take circumference and divide it by 2 pi. So radius equals circumference divided by 2 pi. So that means we're going to have 45 divided by 2 times 3.14. Now, I'm going to show you the calculator. Order of operations is pretty important here, and you got to be careful. If you're going to use a fancy calculator like myself, or yours works similar to this little calculator, you'll punch it in exactly the way I punch it in. I would do 45 divided by, and I want to divide by both the 2 and the pi, so I have to use my bracket button. So I need to use my bracket button to say that I'm dividing 45 by 2 times the 3.14. Okay, hit enter, and I get 7.2. 7.2. So this is going to be 7.2. What units is it going to be? I was told I'm working in centimeters, so my answer will be in centimeters. All right, so again, you need to make sure you put the bottom in brackets when you use your calculator. So the radius here is 7.2 centimeters. Okay, one more example with this, going in this direction. So in this case, I'm going to tell you that the radius, or sorry, the circumference is equal to 200 meters. Okay, so a 200-meter track. Again, the question, when you see it, is going to just say C equals 200 meters. So again, I'm just showing you a visual representation. We're going to use the same formula we just used, C over 2 times pi. So we know the circumference is 200 meters divided by, and this time I'm going to put the brackets in, 2 times 3.14. I'm going to use my calculator then to calculate that. So again, 200 divided by, I'm going to use my bracket button, 2 times 3.14 bracket. Now for people who don't have bracket buttons on their calculator, when we have a chance to sit down, I'm going to show you how to get around using your brackets and how to use your particular calculator. So this particular circle has a radius of 31.8 meters. So 31.8 meters. And I know it's in meters because that was the given information off the start. So this radius is 31.8 meters. Moving along, now we're looking at diameter. What happens if we are given diameter? So diameter, again, is a line that passes through the center of a circle. All right, so circumference then, for the first question, I'm going to tell you that the distance around here, and I'll go with the 45 centimeters again. Okay, so question would say circumference equals 45 centimeters. How are we going to find the diameter? Well, you'd go back to your formulas and you would find the formula that has circumference and diameter. So we're going to just divide circumference by pi. So the formula would be diameter equals circumference over pi, 45 divided by 3.14. A little bit nice, a little bit better because we don't have don't have to worry about using brackets anymore. So 45 divided by 3.14. Calculator says that's 14.3. 14.3, and it's going to be centimeters. So the distance across this entire circle is 14.3 centimeters. Look at my final example. Distance around this circle, I'll go back to the 200. So I'm going to say that it is 200-meter track. So number 2 here, I'm telling you the circumference is 200 meters. We know that the formula we're going to use is circumference divided by pi. And we know that our circumference is given, so 200 divided by 3.14. Again, you don't need to use brackets. Divided by 3.14 equals 63.7. So 63.7 meters. So the distance across, if you were to cut across the center of this track, it would be 63.7 meters. And there we go. So there's the basics to finding diameter and radius when you are given a circumference. If you have any questions with that, I'll gladly help you when we have our one-on-one session.